They call it the city that never sleeps, the city of dreams, the Big Apple, the crossroads of the world. It's said that if you can make it there, you could make it anywhere. So they come from across the globe with bags full of hopes and dreams, and the city welcomes them. But dreams are rarely what they are believed to be, for while the city may never sleep, still night falls. And it is in the night that the children of Cain wake and play out the masquerade in my city. Beware, children, lest ye fall.
Hey, hello everyone! Hi, this is Simon Wandering DM. Welcome to another session of Vampire NightFall, which we've redubbed the Vamp Dads. I am, as you saw in the intro sequence, playing Sid Zimmerman, the Gangrel private detective. And before we introduce the other players and the storyteller, I just want to remind everyone that this stream, like all of our streams here at Wandering DM, is sponsored by Mage Hand Press. Mage Hand Press, the makers of such good books as Dark Matter that we stream here every Tuesday evening, and books such as Taverns and Tankards if you're interested in a mini, tavern-related campaign setting with ideas of what to do when your players are drunk off their ass. Or if you want to have hangover-style games, you can get all of these books over at store.magehandpress.com and use code WanderingDM to get 15% off anything you buy. Without further ado, by the way, I'm still waking up, so there's that. Let's go talk to Scott. Scott, how are you? Who are you playing?
I am good, thank you. I will be playing the wonderful Alexander Erickson, the Ventru of our coterie, who is the other wonderful half of the Vamp Dads.
And our Vamp children are still missing this week. They'll be back next week. But in the meantime, we also have a storyteller to tell the stories of the Vamp Dads in New York City, and that is Deirdre. Hi, how are you?
Oh, good all. I'm doing well. It's always fun on Saturdays to come hang out in New York as we deal with the growing darkness of, well, the vampires and their unfortunate problems, kidnappings, artificial turnings, ghosts, warded doors that turn into flamethrowers, missing CPAs, and apparently appropriated financial information from Tremere Primogens. What else could our wonderful vamp dads get into today? But I believe we left off with Sid staring at a floating meat cleaver
Yep.
in his office.
There is a meat cleaver right behind me.
Yep, there is.
Which I will try to grab.
Hmm.
By the handle, not the blade. Just so we're clear.
Good.
You
Good.
don't want the nickname Old Nine Fingers?
Uh-huh.
I
I'd like
mean,
to keep all 10 of mine.
theoretically, I guess you could reattach it pretty well, but you would want to avoid that. Let's see. Can you roll me a what would be the best way to do this, I guess? Let's say either strength occult or dex occult, because there's no physical body that you're wrestling with at the moment.
I'll go with Dex. I will pick it up with finesse.
Yes, and you have a point in celerity, don't you?
Yes, I do. Sorry, +1?
So you get 1 plus extra die. But the difficulty is going to be 7.
7? Alright.
Because ghost.
Oof, only 1 success, and it's a 10.
Yes, it is.
2 successes in the end.
You grab hold of this floating meat cleaver by the handle, managing to avoid nicking yourself on the 6.5-inch blade. Nice full-size meat cleaver. You have a hand on it, but it doesn't seem to be letting whatever's holding it isn't letting it go. You have control of it, I guess. And the wonderful gift from Rebecca is almost burning you as you hold this.
Alright, Ghost. Let go of it. This is our meat cleaver. And you're kind of freaking us out.
That's an interesting attempt. Do you wish to use charisma intimidation on that?
Sure. Charisma intimidation. What's the difficulty?
6.
Oof, just 1 success from my freaking 2 dice.
Yeah. You see for a moment a flicker of a young woman, actually very young, older, vintage style clothing, long red hair, and then the image changes and almost you feel this cold wind blow through you as the face elongates, the eyes become sunken, the hair becomes matted and knotted. There's long blood drivels flowing from around the neck. You see a giant gaping wound there. And she screams at you before she vanishes. And you are left holding a meat cleaver. What would you like to do with this meat cleaver?
I keep holding it because I'm afraid that if I leave it somewhere, she's just gonna pick it up again. Alex, we need to do something about the ghost.
Is Alex come back downstairs yet?
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely.
We need to do something about the ghost. This can't go on like that.
I will have Elizabeth remove all of the knives and sharp objects from the house. I mean, that's probably a start, but I really think we should reach out to Rebecca.
Yeah.
Why are you holding a meat cleaver?
Because your ghost tried to kill me with a meat cleaver.
My ghost?
It's your house. It's your ghost.
All right, fair enough.
I have an interesting question.
Yes.
Is it your meat cleaver?
Assuming it is, it's in the house. I mean,
Yeah, don't like everything that we own is actually owned by Alexander.
Well, no, more importantly, why would you have a set of knives?
I mean, for aesthetics, just to kind of give off the appearance that we're not undead things living, in New York. In case anyone that isn't like us that comes
Wanders
by,
into the kitchen, yeah.
Okay, good to know. Dolly is kind of a little shaken and holding a bunch of papers in front of her slightly defensively and just staring.
Oh, hey, sorry about that, Dolly. We learned recently that the place was haunted.
I mean, we're real. Why can't ghosts be real as well?
I don't doubt their existence. I doubt their purpose. They don't seem friendly, and I look at the meat cleaver.
I mean, I've never had any real issue. But I'll reach out to Rebecca. This seems to be my problem, so we'll deal with it that way. And I'll send a text to Rebecca.
What do you say?
Hey, let me know when you're not busy. Have something in your wheelhouse of expertise.
The response is almost immediate. Not doing anything right now that can't wait. Is there something really important, or is this fixing Sid's head, because that takes a while?
Peter, Ray, Egon are all busy. Might need your help with something.
Immediate answer is, well, I don't live in a firehouse, but I'll be there in 15 minutes.
Sounds good. And then I'm assuming that Herschel has cameras around the outside of the house.
Herschel does have a lot of cameras outside the house.
All right. At some point, we need to see if there's anything on the security footage about anyone that doesn't look like someone that should be around outside.
You think our ghost might be the workings of someone else?
I think the hostility of our ghost may be the workings of someone else. I've got 15 minutes before Rebecca gets here, so have a seat. I'm going to tell you a story.
Oh boy, here we go.
Do you want Dolly to stay in this room?
No. And I'm gonna I'm gonna say, Sid, can you have Dolly vacate, or I can make her.
Dolly, you can have the rest of the night off. I think you've seen enough.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'll be back tomorrow night. There will be a large amount of like baked goods on your bill on your credit card statement, by the way. And she just kind of strides kind of out of the door quickly. And you can hear it close, the front door close behind her. As far as you are aware, you are currently the only two people on your floor of the brownstone. You can kind of hear where Herschel is in the basement. And it sounds like Auden's music has stopped, but she's not currently at home.
Okay. You know how we all have certain, not necessarily a curse, but certain things that each of the clans have. For us, it's very specific needs for our feeding, correct?
Yeah, I heard you guys were picky.
Picky is probably an understatement. Some of us have it worse than others. Some of us got it pretty easy. I'd like to think I'm in the easier category. But the ghost is the first person I have ever fed from.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, a week or so after my embrace, and well, to put it lightly, the beast got the better of me, and I killed the poor girl. Ever since then, I've managed to catch glimpses of her, but she's never been like this. Like, I've never seen more than, maybe an image or two, or maybe a minute or two's worth of a visit. But it's never been hostile.
Just because she was your first doesn't mean you can't let go of her.
Oh, believe me, I've tried.
Maybe you were her first, and that's why she's still sticking around.
Well, I mean, I believe her family was in town for a vacation or something. It was quite a while ago, and she's been around ever since. But like I said, not, just random appearances. Nothing like this. I honestly think something or someone is agitating the ghost.
Well, if she followed you for that long without ever trying to murder any one of us, yeah, there's definitely something weird.
And to be fair, honestly, I'm the only one that's ever really seen her until now. I mean, we've been here 40 years, and I'd like to think this is the first time you've ever seen the appearance of her.
Yeah, does she have a name, or do we keep referring to her as Ghost?
Fitzsimmons. Jessica Fitzsimmons was her name. But she kind of became the reason I have to feed the way I do.
Oh, wait, because she didn't fit your specific taste?
No, she was the reason. She was actually the reason I have my specific taste.
Oh, so it's a case of you can't let go of her.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said, it's usually an appearance now and then, never like this. I mean, it would go months, years in between sometimes. And now this is the fourth or fifth appearance in as many evenings.
Did they ever find her body?
I do believe the police did locate her body.
Okay, so there was closure on that part.
As far as I know, yes.
I mean, I'm not super well versed into ghosts and shit, but I figure the other part would be unfinished business. What was she doing in New York?
Like I said, the amount of research I did after I found out, basically the family was in town for a vacation. They were visiting the city, and she just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
So, like, if we bring her to visit the sites of the city, maybe she'll fuck off after that?
I'm not sure. I'll probably leave that up to our friend Rebecca to find out.
Yeah.
Or at least give us a better idea of maybe if we can give her closure at all.
Why do I get the feeling we're about to get a seance or something?
Well, I guess we should probably get some candles and a Ouija board.
Hey Sid, could you roll me intelligence investigation?
I'm supposed to be good at that.
Mm-hmm. DC 5.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be good at that. I got just the one success.
The name Fitzsimmons rings a bell, particularly after tonight's foray to visit the good CPAs of Cohen and Spiegler. There was a sign on that upper floor.
Fitzsimmons
and Sons,
Yeah.
attorney at law.
But, like, how many Fitzsimmons are there in New York City? Like, that could just be a coincidence.
How many Fitzsimmons are there in New York City who end up attorneys for Kindred?
Oh, there's that. Maybe Daddy got wind of how she died and was blackmailed into becoming a lawyer. I wouldn't have happened to see when we went up on the second floor to see like a picture on a desk of like a redhead girl.
There were no pictures anywhere in the Fitzsimmons attorney law offices. You could see places where even paintings were taken off walls. It was stripped. In fact, the only photo or image that you found throughout the entire building was the image that Alexander found in this briefcase of the two gentlemen in front of, which you are assuming is Mr. Cohen and Mr. Spiegler. Although you still aren't sure which one's which.
I don't know, in my mind, Cohen's the taller one.
Works for me. Again, I don't know much about what happened after I killed the girl, but my sire had taken care of everything, and back to the Agogi I went.
Agogi, that's your private school for,
Yes, certainly. Make your jokes. It's okay.
I don't know, I was raised by the mean streets of New York City.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's a 20-year gap that he doesn't remember, so to him...
This is true. This is true. But there is a knock at the front door, followed by like that kind of urgent bell ringing.
That'd be Rebecca.
Probably. I'll go answer the door. Or, well, I'll go to the eye hole and see who's at the door.
It is Rebecca Leibowitz is definitely standing right in front of the door and kind of anxiously pushing. Kind of put together slacks and a shirt and sort of quasi like hippie bohemian chic open vest on top of it with a large bunch of with a large amulet around her throat. She's also holding a box in front of her.
Before she starts knocking and ringing anymore, I'll open the door. Good evening, Rebecca. See you're dressed to impress Auden.
What? No, I don't even know what you're talking about. This is just for me. Why would I dress to impress anyone here? And apparently Herschel got a package. You're like, take this. This is weird. It's sticky. I don't like it.
And I'll take the package as far away from me as I can.
You holding it, it doesn't feel sticky in your hands at all.
All right, that's weird. I will put it down by the basement door.
Hey, Sid.
Hey, Becky.
I heard you got like a guest that you don't want.
Yeah, there's a ghost. Or I should say, there's Alexander's past mistakes.
Really? And she kind of turns surprised and looks at Alexander. It's like, I didn't know you guys had past mistakes. Like, I was all prepared for like Sid's shit.
You know, there's a saying, glass houses, stones, you know.
This is why I said you need a couples therapist to deal with your issues.
Can we just get to the matter at hand and figure out what the hell is going on?
Sure. Anybody got any alcohol?
Yes. In the kitchen, there's the liquor cabinet in there.
That's where exactly? Because like I've never actually been inside your house beyond like Sid's office.
And I'll point towards one of the back rooms where are we on the parlor floor? Well, yes, because there's
Parlor
the entry.
floor.
Yeah, so I'll point back towards the kitchen. There's a cabinet in there that's full of alcohol for our non-kindred guest.
Oh, okay. So the kindred alcohol is in that bar in between the two conference rooms. I see how this works. You hear her go into the back through the swinging doors into the kitchen and just start rummaging around in there. It's like, I'll be a couple minutes. Don't worry about me. Talk amongst yourselves. Totally not listening at all. Can't hear a thing.
Yeah. Look. I'm not proud of what I did. At the same time, you've certainly, I'm sure, let the beast get the better of you at some point.
No, you would have seen that. See, when you were talking about the curses? Ours is if we turn into a furry. I got the cat ears and the fur and the tail and everything. The more I let the beast out, the more of a beast I become. That's not a figure of speech in this case, it's actually true. So no, I've been very careful. However, I did bleed a couple people dry in my time. I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? Cattle's cattle.
I mean, this is true.
You can't mope around just because you killed one of them.
Oh, I'm not moping around. I've lived with this girl's presence for the last fucking 100 years almost. Or the last 70. Look. It happened. I paid my time, trust me. Thought I was going to lose my head over it, but thankfully my sire saw better and, well, trust me, the price was paid.
Right, they would have killed you for draining one person dry.
Oh, Aventru's reputation is worth more money, time, power, anything. It's probably the most important thing that we have. So, yes. I damn near lost my head over this.
You guys have made yourself like a tiny camarilla between yourselves, it seems. Like with all the rules and the everything to follow.
Without the Ventru, there wouldn't have been the Convention of Thorns.
Hey, and we'd still be living the free life.
Well, I mean, until humanity realized what was actually out there and then rounded all of us up like the cattle and slaughtered us.
Nah. I read the history books. We were pretty fine until the Convention of Thorns. There was this one thing about the Inquisition, and that's it.
True. But given the technological advancements of today, do you think the Inquisition would be as small if they really knew?
So long as you uphold a masquerade, we're pretty fine.
Oh, then Camarillo is doing its job.
All right, y'all. Like, I've got everything set up, and do you have like a name or a picture or something so I can kind of have a communication? And she's coming back with Rebecca comes back into the room carrying what looks like a bottle of gin that she stuffed a bunch of, you're not sure, they look like herbs and various other things inside, and a lighter.
Please tell me you used the cheap stuff.
Please tell me you're not making a Molotov cocktail inside the living room.
Also, I'm not going to burn myself. Although it kind of looks like you need some help with that, Alex. Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine.
Okay, just checking because, like, you don't usually burn like that. It looks a little... You got some schmutz all over here. Like, all over here. Lots of it.
You can thank the Tremere for that.
Why wouldn't I thank a Tremere for anything? What did you do to piss off a Tremere bad enough that they lit you on fire?
Let's just say Sid and I went digging around.
Fire bad and all that.
What did you do? How did you get across fire?
They had a CPA firm warded to the brim.
I don't think this. There's only one CPI I know in town who has like wards on stuff, and the Tremere didn't do them.
Then who the hell did?
Well, uh-huh. And I didn't put anything with fire on shit.
Then they're not your wards.
Then you might want to double check that because the only CPAs I know were some very, very nice gentlemen, and
Go and spiel something.
79th and Broadway, ring any bells?
yeah, I put all those wards up to make sure that everything was silent and everything was, that they could have like conversations and like not be overheard by you all.
Those wards were fine. Well, we are only speculating that they're dead, but they're not there.
Okay, well, we can deal with that after I deal with your passenger, apparition, problem child, I guess. Maybe, possibly.
Problem child's in the basement.
Yeah, how is Herschel?
Herschel.
All right, well, there's that. Okay. This is going to look really, really weird to the rest of you. Make sure the doors are closed and, like, don't shoot me.
Well, none of us carry firearms, so I don't think you have to worry about that.
Or stab me, or try and drink from me, because that won't end well for either of you. Won't well end well.
All right.
And she picks the bottle up, and she just goes, "Cheers, y'all," and chugs it straight in front of you. And then,
as she's doing that, I want to close the doors. Assuming we have like sliding doors to separate the rooms.
Yeah, you have sliding doors that you can close. You can also close the doors to the hallway as well.
Yep.
You see her start to pitch forward, and all of a sudden she straightens up like she got hit by lightning. And her eyes roll back in her head, and there's just the whites of her eyes there. So that's a redhead. That's cute. That's not cute what you did, Alex. You can't be that messy. That was messy.
I am aware, Rebecca.
Yeah, I know. I just had to say it because she's pissed. But what's her name?
Jessica.
Jessica! Nice to meet you. I'm Rebecca Leibowitz. I'm here to help facilitate your passage into the... And you see her throat start to seize. And it's odd. She should be like turning red or blue or white or something to indicate that she can't breathe, but she's not. And you just see her hair start to fizzle, start to go out, and this very long, dark hair that she keeps pretty styled, or at least straightened and blown out, and kind of looks like she wasn't caring, but it obviously took a lot of time and effort to style it that way, slowly start to frizz up. And you see little shocks of lightning go out, and you see her eyes. Well, they're not whites anymore. They're blue and green and then indigo. And then there's a shot. You hear something thud against the door between the two rooms. I was having a conversation. I don't like being interfered with my conversations. Sid?
What?
Why do you have a Giovanni fucking with me?
I don't know.
Could you maybe do something about that before I get pissed?
Well, maybe. Do you know where they are?
75 feet. Give or take.
I'll go check around the house. And I'll sneak out of the house.
All right, so can you roll me that wit stealth?
2 successes, 2 of which are 10s, so 2 successes.
You are silent leaving the room, leaving the house. You appear to be moving quietly through the dark of the streets of New York. Can you roll me that wits or investigation or intelligence investigation? Either one. As you're actively searching, unless you would like to do perception alertness.
I'll go with wits into investigation. If you're giving me the choice.
Mm-hmm. I'm giving you the choice.
2 successes, and
with that 10.
3 successes. 3 successes.
You see a car parked on the street that you don't recognize. It's not part of the usual cars that park on the street. And let's be honest, on a side street in New York, everybody knows whose car is whose, or at least recognizes that belongs there. That alternate side parking rule is really useful for that. You got to make sure that you're parking on the right side of the road so that the street sweepers can come by, and then they tell you that next night they're going to come by the other side, so you got to move your car. So you know vaguely everybody who's usually there. It's a Mazda Miata, red. There's a woman sitting in it with long dark hair that you can see. She kind of sees you, smirks, and peels away down the street.
Do I have time to check the license plate?
You can.
What do I need to roll?
This you can roll me wits investigation or intelligence investigation, your choice.
2 successes. 2 successes.
It's relatively easy to catch. It's a vanity plate. New York State. Frannie 1. Frannie 1.
All right.
Meanwhile, back inside, Alex would see the hair, Francesca's hair, slowly start to calm down. It's still frizzy. Her eyes go back to you just seeing the whites of her eyes. And she turns and to whatever hit the door, you can't see at the moment between the two rooms. You see the two room. You see the her turn and kind of smirk and say, well, if you don't want to leave, like, permanently, you're gonna leave for tonight and maybe the rest of this week. Be the fuck gone. And you see for a moment the image of this long red hair, this vintage day dress, 1930s styling, and you see her a little clearer, and you realize that your memory of her is, while still an eidetic memory, it's lost in the emotions of that moment. You felt overwhelmed by certain things, so you were focused on the end and not the beginning, and not what she looked like in the moment. You realize that her hair is perfectly styled. She's wearing a hat and gloves. And yes, she looks like a tourist, but she smiles kind of kindly at you. And there's a glint in her eye of awareness, similarities. As you see her, she nods kindly towards you and Rebecca, and you see it fade from view. And you see Rebecca come back to herself. Her eyes come back to normal. And she goes, excuse me a minute, I'm going to throw up. And she proceeds to throw up in the trash can of Sid's conference room.
If you happen to make any of that on his desk, leave it there.
I'm not gonna do that. That's a mess. I don't like making mess. Oh my god, I'm gonna be sick again. I hate this. You owe me for this.
Gladly. Is she gone or?
Well, she's less pissed for now, and I'll deal with. Actually, oh god, hold on a sec. And she proceeds to lose it for like the next three for a extended period of time, and you realize that she is actively vacating her stomach of everything of that entire bottle that she just ingested. It'd probably be about then that Sid walks back in the door. As um she kind of turns and looks at both of you and says, I'll be back tomorrow with like some actual wardings and we can figure that out. She has some things she needs to talk to you about. It's like kind of actually important now. I don't know, but we'll have a conversation.
The Giovanni, was that why she was as hostile as she was?
Oh god, yeah.
I was going to say, the girls, she's been around a while.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing major, little bits and pieces of glimpse here and there, but not like this. Not as she's never. I've never considered her a threat, which is why I've never done anything about her.
Well, she's not a threat to you. She likes you. Well, unless, of course, you know, like a Giovanni gets their grubby, nasty little fingers into her soul and, like, twists her and forces her to do things that she doesn't actually want to do. I mean, she thinks you're hot, which that's just complicated right there.
Most things are.
But you need to deal with your ish, and, like, Sid, you and Alex need to do with the fucking Giovanni. They ain't hanging around because screw that. It's not my job.
Yeah. Did you manage to find the Giovanni?
Found the license plate. That's pretty much it.
Sure, Herschel is more than capable of hacking into the DMB. Although he might be a little upset, that's not a big challenge for him. You know how he gets.
Sort of.
All right, then. Excuse me.
Why does it smell like puke in my office?
I only puked in the freaking, like, garbage can. Do you think I, like, want to die of alcohol poisoning? It's not like I can do this and, like, get up and walk away. God.
Rebecca, do you need a ride home?
Yeah, but I want to have a conversation first about, like, what the hell you were talking about my friends, like, Jacob and Mikhail's. Because, like, I did really good work there, and somebody fucked it up.
Yep.
Yeah, there's quite a mess there.
You're gonna give me more than just it was a mess? Like, this is a mess. Sid, you need to fix this. This is a mess.
I'll point over to the generator that's sitting in the foyer. We pulled that out of the office. Someone had it hooked up and running and was using it to torture Mr. Cohen, Mr. Spiegel. I'm assuming. Again, there were no bodies there, but somebody really ran those two through the ringer, I would say.
Okay.
Anyway, all of the doorways in the building were warded with, I don't know what the hell it is. I don't deal with magic.
Well, glyphs,
Anyway.
runes,
Glyphs. And
hanging things from whatever?
No, just etched into the door frames.
Okay.
And if one of us tried to push our way through, it would attempt to burn the shit out of us. Case in point.
I'm not going to laugh because that would be mean, and I'm not mean most of the time. But I will kind of say that it's kind of funny that you couldn't do that, and that tells me a lot about things that are going on. And why did you bring the engine back?
Why
That
did
it
we
was
bring
like
the engine back?
used to torture people.
Well, we wanted to see what we could find out.
All
Yeah.
right.
You know, the whole psychic imprint or something.
Oh yeah, I can't do that. I know some people who can, but I can't do that.
Yeah, we think Auden can do it.
She might be able to see a little more about it than we can.
Mm. Why would we... Honestly, I don't know why anyone would bother Jacob or Mikhail. They're like so sweet. Their wedding was 2 years ago. It was absolutely beautiful. The rabbi on Fifth Avenue, at the Fifth Avenue synagogue, he came and did the whole thing. And there was their grandma, Mikhail's grandmother, did the whole. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I'm certain it was. But nonetheless, we have to find out what we can about whatever the hell went on there.
You know that now that I know, you need to actually like tell somebody that happened, because there are a lot of people who did business with them of the kind of like real important variety.
Oh, I'm aware. They have some real important clientele.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyone you know that we might want to watch out for? Whoever's after these two, maybe after, well, some of the office was left around, but most of it was destroyed.
You might want to let the Primogen know. You might want to let, I don't usually like to say this out of turn, but La Senora did business with them a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say they might go after the person that warded the place.
Let them try and get through my door. I can have fun. I haven't had fun in decades.
Yeah, but humans can get through your door.
It's true.
Can they?
And I'm going to text Elizabeth and ask how our duplication's going.
Be done in 5 minutes, sir.
Return the box to me when you're done.
Is it okay? Is it acceptable that I went for the climate, well, the ecologically friendly route of double-sided?
That's fine.
Oh, that's good.
No, start all over again.
I mean, she would. That's kind of the route that she would go. But Rebecca looks at the two of you for a second. You didn't happen to see like any of the Fitzsimmons, did you?
No, we went upstairs to their offices, but it looks like that place was ransacked as well.
Ooh.
And
that's a slightly bigger deal because, the sheriff uses them a lot. You might want to let her know. By the way, sending you a bill. Well, you owe me dinner and not the cheap shit.
Rebecca, when have you ever known me to use the cheap shit?
I'm not talking about you. As she kind of side-eyes Sid for a moment and then waves at the two of you, and walks out.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
What the hell is this thing here? You hear her kind of shout from the steps.
What
No.
thing?
I'll go look. See what the hell she's talking about.
There are flowers on your front steps. Roses, red and white, in a funeral wreath.
Are
I-
any of them... Give me 2 seconds.
I'm expecting a gift.
Red rose is normally the symbol of diablerie. The amaranth.
I'm assuming I would be aware of this. Or do I need to make a roll?
Not to make a roll to know it, but to make a roll to recognize it. Just intelligence investigation. DC 5, because you know what you're looking for. You just need to see if you can tell from cut roses.
3 successes and 1 is a 10. So 3 successes.
You see a few intermingled inside this, but it definitely looks like they were filling out the rest of this wreath with whatever red roses they could grab that were close enough in color. But definitely you have a couple amaranth in there. And Rebecca's just looking at this going, this is tacky.
It's a message, dear.
I know, but it's a tacky message, and I'm upping my fee.
That's fine.
I want full dinner at La Cirque. Nothing else.
I will make sure that Sid takes care of this for you.
Please. And you see her start walking down the street. And it's odd. She's kind of whistling as she goes, and as she gets, maybe a block and a half, whatever people are on the street, maybe late night dog walkers, maybe people walking home from whatever, just kind of seem to turn and not look at her at all as she walks down the street.
She is rather resourceful. That's why I like her.
Yeah, can we talk about the fact that...
I was just going to ask you why this is on our doorstep?
I don't know, but do you think it's bad to diablerize a diablerist?
You do realize that diablerie is a final death. You can meet the final death for that.
Yeah, but someone's clearly saying that one of us deserves final death, and they're probably going after us.
It wouldn't surprise me. This evening can only get weirder.
There is a card visible.
And I'll reach
Oh, hey,
down.
there's a card visible.
I'll reach down and grab the card.
It's a prayer in Latin for the repose of the soul of the recently deceased.
Well,
And the care of their, family. And it specifically states the care of the family of Mr. Alexander Erickson Esquire and Mr. Sid Zimmerman.
Well, you or I are neither recently deceased.
I think it means they're coming after the children.
Is it wrong if we let them have Herschel?
Why did I know you were gonna say something like that? Do you really think anyone would want to have Herschel?
We obviously have him for a reason.
He's a cool guy.
He is handy. I'll give him that. Putrid, foul, but handy.
So,
Well, Herschel, I'm not overly concerned with. He's quite able to handle himself.
do you have any known enemies?
I mean, there's a list. I'm sure we each have our list. And I'm sure Herschel adds to that list. I mean, between him and everybody else he's managed to piss off. If I had to narrow it down, I couldn't.
Alright, so we gotta look out for just about anyone in New York.
Yes. We need to find the two CPAs, or at least figure out what the hell's going on with that. We'll worry about one problem at a time.
And I think that's where we're going to take our break for the afternoon.
Alright. We'll be back in 5 to 8 minutes. Stick around, everyone. Hello, we're back with death threats from people in New York.
I mean,
So it could be our neighbors.
well, funeral wraith death threats are a very old school New York mob thing. But the Amaranth kind of gives the impression that it's not mortals that are desiring your final end.
Yay.
Alex, your phone buzzes like a text message.
All right, who's this?
It's Herschel.
All right. I'm assuming this is about what I sent him before.
Of the
The random text that I received while we were in the.
It's not. He says, "Will one of you please come downstairs and deal with the moaning, crying baby in the bedroom?"
But, oh,
I'm busy trying to deal with your issues.
thank you. We'll take care of it. Send. Let's go check on the professor. Apparently, Herschel says that he's whining.
All right, then.
We'll head downstairs to the professor's room.
What are you doing with the overlarge funeral wreath?
Oh, we're going to bring it inside.
Yeah.
Okay. You left the Professor Dominic Stevens in the bedroom down here next to Sybil's room, which is still empty because Sybil isn't there, but it's still her room, so. The door is closed and locked from the inside, but you can hear something whining and moaning and groaning.
Oh, please tell me he's been feeding. Shit. All right. I'll open the door. Professor, is everything all right?
The door is locked.
Oh, well,
From the inside?
that's an issue.
I'll bang on the door. Professor, open the door.
No answer.
Oh, fuck it. I'll bash the door open. I'll kick it down.
Strength, athletics.
Yeah, me and my super high strength score. What's the
Sure, it's
difficulty?
higher than mine.
I mean, these are just interior doors for a bedroom. It's like a difficulty 5.
Phew, 1 success.
You kick it hard enough to break the latch. You don't knock the whole door down. Break the latch. The door pops open. The room is dark, but there's still a dusk lamp on. You see a figure lying on the bed, kind of groaning and holding, like curled up and holding its stomach.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. I'll go in and check on him.
It is Professor Stevens, but he seems to be violently ill, like sweating blood out of his pores and extremely feverish.
That's definitely not supposed to happen.
He does not seem to realize that anyone's there.
I'm gonna text Herschel. How long has he been like this?
Maybe like 5-10 minutes I could hear him.
This is just starting, Ben? I'm wondering if this is part of his, well, his embracement. The manufactured portion of it. Something could be going wrong. Hell, I don't know. I mean, he does have 3 different vitae within him. At least 3. I'm gonna try and turn him around, I guess, or I guess put him on his back so that he can see if he can talk to us.
Putting him on his back seems to take effort. It's almost like his muscles are locked into place. Almost like rigor mortis.
Well,
But are you gonna try and force it?
Sid, come give me a hand with him. I can barely move him.
All right. And I'm gonna try to move him.
The two of you
he's
together.
solid.
Like he's just seized up.
Like his limbs are in rigor mortis. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Pushing him onto his back. Roll me in either wits investigation or intelligence investigation.
I'll go with wits.
yeah,
3 successes.
wits investigation. Where is it? One success.
You're focused, Alex. You're focused on trying to figure out how to deal with the body going through stages of death that are abnormal in someone who has been turned into a vampire. But the body is going through rigor mortis, and you see massive amounts of blood being sweat out of him, almost as if he's in fever, sweating out. And you see rivulets of blood coming from his eyes, his nose, pretty much everywhere you could see being expelled. If you didn't know better, you'd almost think that he had Ebola, the amount of blood coming out of the man's pores. Sid, with those 3 successes, you also notice that there are fangs on the bed next to him, like they came out of his mouth.
Does he have a pulse?
No.
Okay. At least he's not, like, for some reason, turning back into a living being.
No pulse.
So he's shed his fangs. He's sweating blood.
My guess is that it's not taking the embrace.
Yeah.
Remember, it was manufactured, so
He was in that room for 2 months.
And they never fed him anything. And he started freaking out the moment we fed him something.
well, not the moment, but
No, but like
after, yes.
a night after, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's not the proper way.
No. Part of me would like to put him out of his misery.
That's something we can agree on.
But the other part of me is curious as to what's gonna happen, because this is the first time that...
Yes, we have a unicorn on our hands. So he's not coherent. He's just in pain, bleeding out, lying there.
Yep.
This is fantastic. So what? He bleeds everything out and then proceeds to perish.
It looks like it. Or, I don't know, he bleeds everything out and gets better.
And did Sid point out the fact he's got no fangs?
Yeah, I would have. Sorry.
That's right. I mean, getting better and then having no fangs, I don't see. I mean, unless he regrows a pair of fangs, I don't see that happening.
Can drink with a straw. They're all about metal straws now. You can just sharpen one out.
And
Just...
Alexander will actually let out a chuckle at that. So what? Every victim just have one puncture wound in the neck there.
You're laughing in game, but out of game, I once played a Malkavian whose way to feed was through a metal straw like that. Every human is a juice box.
It's very true.
Sid,
Yep.
this tickles something at the back of your mind. You don't know why. You don't know how. But you know you've seen something like this before.
But I wouldn't know any more about it than, like, it's something that I've... Like, do I get the... How can I put that? Do I know that I've seen that before?
Yes.
Okay.
You know in this moment that you've seen this exact thing that you see right here in front of you before. You've seen everything that happens to it.
What happens
And
after?
Ooh. I need you to roll me 3d10.
Seven, 9, and 5. Or 21. I don't know.
It's okay. You don't. I do. You push your mind back, and you hit that blank that you've experienced for the last 40 years. That blank of period of time that you're missing. But this time, you see something. It goes further. You're in a city, in a basement, industrial. There are 3 individuals on beds going through the same thing that you see in front of you. You know that one screams suddenly and turns into a violent flame and perishes in ash. You know that another just stops, bleeds out entirely, and slowly begins to decay like a mortal body. You know the third goes stark raving mad, and you're pretty sure there was an event tied to it. Blood in the streets. It made the newspapers, but you can't remember anymore.
Hey Alex, I got good news and bad news.
Oh, please give me the bad news first.
We have to kill him before something very bad happens.
Okay, what's the good news?
I remember a few things that happened to me before I came back to New York.
What do you mean?
I've seen this condition before.
No. I mean, what do you mean you remembered things before?
Oh, I'll tell you all about it once we've dealt with the professor here. I'd rather we deal with him before he bursts into flame.
And Alexander will look around the room for anything that may immediately catch on fire.
The bed?
I mean, it's your house, Alexander. How do you decorate your guest rooms?
I don't decorate my guest rooms. I pay people to do that.
Well, do you follow into the modernist aesthetic, or do you keep in matching the tone and age of the brownstone that you have?
For all intents and purposes, the rest of the house is time period precise. So it's very put together, but Alexander's floor is very modern.
Aside from probably Sid's room, which he does his own shit with.
Sid can do whatever the hell he wants with his room, as Auden and Herschel lives in the basement.
I made sure to have asbestos in my walls and lead paint.
I don't care. I'm dead too, so I don't care.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it brings back memories, you know, of how, like, my childhood home was like.
I mean, as bad as they are for health reasons, they did do their job very well for a reason.
They did.
Asbestos is very good for heat control, and
I don't need to breathe.
well, as long as you leave it in the wall, it's not a problem. And you're not eating the paint off the wall, are you, Sid?
Not today.
But
No, I'm not a mage. I don't need to lick the walls of my home to get mana back.
yeah, exactly.
Fine. Let's pull him off of the bed.
I'm gonna try to pick him up. Is he, like, in a fetal position?
Yeah, he's kind of curled over holding his stomach.
Okay, so I can easily, like, lift him up with both arms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You will probably want to destroy the remains of the bed clothes.
They're covered in blood, so yes.
Yeah, we'll burn it in the... Hey, I guess we have, like, a... fireplace.
Yes, you have a fireplace. You have multiple fireplaces.
All right. Well, how do you want to do this?
Chug him out the window. Yeet! The professor.
Pretty
It's
sure
still
we're
only
gonna do
1:30 in the morning. Not going to do a whole lot.
I have a knife. I don't think we're gonna decapitate him with a knife. Or if we do it,
Hey, Alex.
slowly.
Do you remember
Yes.
the story about Old Yeller?
Yes. Are you going to take him out back and shoot him?
Do you have a better idea?
I mean, no.
Apparently you have a set of kitchen knives.
I mean, I have a knife.
And Herschel has a gun.
That's true. You can always borrow Herschel's gun and take him out back and shoot him.
But that'll make noise.
It would.
I have nails.
I'd rather not bring any unwanted attention to us.
No. I can... I'm not gonna drain him.
No,
Whatever's
wouldn't.
inside of him, I don't want it out.
Yeah. That's...
However, do we have room in the basement, like a slab of cement or something that like Herschel hasn't put anything on?
I was gonna say he's probably got some space back there somewhere. What, the utility closet or the mechanical room?
Yep, those would probably be your best bets. Or that'd probably be your best bet.
Because part
Or
of
the
me
patio right outside Sybil's room.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna bring him outside if he starts like going raving mad.
That or spontaneously combusting.
Because part of me really wants to know which of the three.
Morbid curiosity is getting the better of you now.
Okay,
Herschel redesigned the utilities, so he basically left the utility closet empty as a cold storage, effectively. You also have the cold storage room here.
where that?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I wasn't on the map.
Bottom of the cellar
okay.
there.
Bottom of the cellar.
Yeah, basically what was a little step down area. What used to be probably the coal drop at a period in time. Old coal chute. That was since been removed, but you still have the cement floor or
Yeah, and it's
hard-packed
probably
floor.
like a 4 or 5 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what, you just throw him in there and...
Well, here's the thing. You got a 33% chance, according to what I remember, that he prophesizes something or becomes the... Well, here's the deal. One of the three went stark mad and then blood on the streets. So I don't know if it's he turned into a monster and went on a rampage, or
That is a mess we do not need to be associated with.
yeah, let's bring him to the coal chute and just
And at that
finish
point,
him.
Alexander's going to pull his knife and attempt to behead him.
Where?
Wait, behead,
Yeah, behead.
stake to the heart.
That puts him into torpor.
Yeah, until we find a proper way to deal with him.
You just said...
Did you know how hard it is to behead someone with a knife?
Well, we're not just someone.
Have you
Fine.
ever...
Fine. And put it away. Find a table and break a leg off. And we'll just run it through his
Plus,
back.
we don't even know if it's gonna work. Like, I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious to know if a stake to the heart is gonna work.
Don't see why it wouldn't. I don't
Just
know.
try it out.
Do you want to be the guinea pig?
You mean I don't want to be staked?
None of us do, but it happens. Just, we're gonna have to go from the back. He's all curled up, and we can't go through the front. So you're...
Oh,
You're
you know what?
probably-
Fuck it. Herschel, give me your gun.
What? What? No. Why?
We need to kill someone. And then frame you.
Wait, no, that's a bad idea.
We're not framing anyone. I need to kill someone in the basement. You remember the dog we brought in like 2 days ago?
He was all right.
Yeah, it's really sick. We have to put it down.
Okay.
I hope you weren't attached to the professor.
He just puts his headphones back on and goes back to whatever he's doing on the computer and totally ignores you.
I take his pistol. I bring the professor in the cold storage room.
Mm-hmm.
I close the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I make sure to aim for his temple. And I shoot once.
I'm not going to make you roll to shoot him because he's incapacitated. What I do need you to do is roll me a dex dodge. You can use your +1 for celerity.
5 successes.
Oh, shit.
6 successes.
As you pull the trigger, the gun goes off. The bullet goes into the body of the professor, and the seizures suddenly stop, and he goes to literally grab you and rip your throat out at the same time. He's bleeding from the temple. His face is elongated. Kind of looks almost like he's stuck between a Nosferatu and a gangrel mid-change.
Ew.
His nails are elongated into sharp, needle-like points, looking more like, well, if you've ever seen the Wolverine movies, the, God, what's her name? The other.
With the razor blades on the tip of her fingers?
Yeah. There's no adamantium on them, though, but you see how they're kind of pointed and sharpened that way. There's no recognition of reality. He is fully engaged and fully desired to attack you. You dodged his first attack. He's going to try and attack you again.
And you just locked yourself in a closet with him.
But he manages merely to scratch at your arm, barely.
I get my claws out.
Go right ahead. So that's how you want to do it.
Well, I'm gonna attack him with Dex and Brawl.
Yep, Dex Brawl. And you get...
I'm also going to use my celerity to get an extra action. So I'm gonna attack him twice without any penalties.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6 because you are in a confined space.
5 successes. 5 successes.
You grab hold of him, and what are you trying to do? What does this look like?
I am basically going to rip out his throat.
You grab his throat and you pull forward, pulling the trachea and the esophagus out. The only thing holding his head attached to his body is his spine. He's no longer actively bleeding. It's kind of sluggishly moving and proceeding down his chest. He begins to sway, focuses on you, and tries to make another attack, but you have an extra action because you're using your celerity.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna smash his head on the pavement.
Okay. Go for that Dex Brawl.
2 successes, 3 successes.
You slam his head down on the cement, and you hear it crack. And you hear the spine crack as well. He's still trying to move at you, but he will take a penalty for his
Jesus.
actions. But he does not manage to get up.
You roll d6s.
Well, I can't.
I want to be fair. Like, there was no way you could have rolled any successes on that.
Thank you. He manages to try and push himself up on one arm and reach out at you, but he cannot escape your grasp at the moment. There is nothing there's something inhuman, even beyond you as vampires. Something wrong.
Yeah, it's like the body's been... It keeps being animated even though it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
How many pieces of you do I have to get? Well, the throat didn't work. Let's go for the
spine's
heart.
Still attached.
I'm assuming I'm hearing all of this out.
Yes. You are.
Since my claws deal aggravated damage, could I sever the spine with them?
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. Fucking Alexander's gonna tell me that in the end beheading was the right idea. It's just fucking bullshit.
Oh, he's going to say I told you so.
Just one success.
You grab hold of his spine and rip it forward, and you see where the crack already was. He's gonna try and keep going.
Oh god. Oh god.
He gets back up, and you see him swaying, the head at an angle. The neck can no longer support it. There's no muscle, there's no tissue. He's looking at you with severe hunger. But you see the snout of his face, this kind of peel back and split, almost like a...
Like a predator?
Yeah. Well,
wow, he's
more
like a Simichi.
Like, kind of, a lot of like looking like a Simichi. And you see just red in his eyes, literally, like the irises and are turned red, and the pupils themselves have gone jet black. But he is standing for a nominal term. He is severely messed up, but his head is still trying to get at you.
Bright side is he doesn't have any fangs, right?
You know what? I'm just gonna claw his face at his face like twice.
All right.
Everything all right in there?
Yep. You might want to open the door.
Okay.
I only have 2 successes on the first attack.
Yep, but you got that 10 to reroll.
Yeah, 2 successes.
Okay. You managed to grab hold of him and pull at the neck and pull off chips of spine. It's a little harder to get around the vast maw that is now trying to attack you, but you managed to.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do for the second one. I'm gonna like this with my, and I'm gonna shove it into his mouth and all the way to the other side.
And then pull his spine out through his mouth. Oh, we've seen this before. Go on.
My gangrel is messy. Hey, only just 1 success. Yeah, just 1.
You get your hand all the way in there and grab hold of his spine and roll me perception alertness.
Four successes.
There's something metallic in your hand.
What? I'm gonna try to rip that out. Because I figure this is some sort of like motor or something.
He's trying to pull himself away from you. Doesn't work. You still have hold of his spine through its mouth at this point. The head is still kind of lazy. It looks like a giant mess.
I hope.
This is nasty and messy, and
It is. Sid is a very messy combatant.
Yes, apparently he is.
He's very gory in his fights. He's like an animal.
Would you like to rip that metallic thing?
The metallic thing, yeah.
And I'm gonna open the door as he's...
At that moment,
as you open the door, you see Sid with his hand down a giant flail like 4-portion mouth that's flawed open. It's up to his elbow, grabbing hold of a spine that you see the trachea and muscle and the esophagus have been pulled away from. You see cracks in the spine itself and the head not being able to support it. The giant fang talons seem to be kind of almost limp at the moment, but they're kind of trying to claw at Sid. Not that they can get there at the moment. And a couple cracks in the skull.
I see you have your hands full.
Sid, your turn.
Well, pull it out.
You can use your Dex Brawl for that.
4 successes.
You reach in and pull.
How big is it? Like, when I feel
It's-
it with my hands, like how...
It's a couple inches long and it's cylindrical. And as you pull
Okay.
it out, it's covered in blood, but it's metallic. It's cylindrical. You feel something that feels like wires on it. And he tries to claw at your arm, well, bite down on your arm as you pull it out. He manages to get a tooth in, but he doesn't currently have any fangs in its mouth, so it doesn't do you a lot of damage.
Oh, wow. So it's like a predator mouth, but with human teeth?
You see them slowly. Think more sandworm from Dune.
Oh, yeah, okay. But with human teeth.
Slowly, yep.
This is just sad.
Creepy, gory, but it is sad. And as you pull the last of the thing out of its mouth, it collapses on the floor. You see the spine shatter and the head kind of roll to the side.
I think I should start putting a message at the beginning of the stream that it might get violent.
I think you should.
Apologies for everyone. I really didn't think about that.
Yeah, we're sorry.
But going back into things, hey, I found something inside. Oh, by the way, yeah, you were right. I say as I shove the cylinder in Alex's hands.
And Sid is covered in ick and nastiness and blood, and he's trying to hand you something that's also covered in blood, Alex.
What the hell is this? You pulled this out of his head?
Amongst all the other things I pulled out, yep.
Oh, I mean, that's to be expected. I saw what you did to the Brujah. This is nothing new.
Can you roll me a Dex dodge, gentlemen?
Oh, God.
If it's a bomb, I swear to fucking God.
No.
Do I add one for celerity?
Yes, you can add one for celerity.
You and your fucking celerity.
I know, right? And it's the one thing that saved me. I got 1 success.
I got one as well, so.
You both see out of the corner of your eye as the body starts to smolder and spark
Oh, okay.
and flame as you make yourself out of the root cellar and close the door, coal chute, and close the door behind you. You feel the heat begin behind.
Fire bad.
Well, yeah. I'm going to wipe off the cylinder and see if there's anything on it.
Nothing written, but you see a couple of wires coming out of it.
I'm going to throw it at Herschel.
What?
Figure out what the hell that is and where the hell it came from, please.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, I texted you about the thing with your phone. And he just focuses in on.
And I'll check my phone, see what the hell he's talking about.
There's an attachment about a very long, detailed list of all of the pings that he tracked the phone through, the different cell towers and the different points it bounced through as it sent you this message, and it goes back like 6 or 7 times, and it's a very detailed account, basically to say that the message came from inside the house and actually originated within your own phone.
Inside of the house and from my own phone. All right.
Is your phone possessed?
Well, I mean, we did see that I do have a supernatural follower.
Do you think Jessica might have sent you that?
It's possible. I mean, anything's possible. You just ripped that out of his head while he tried to gnaw on your arm with... I don't know what the hell that was. It wasn't a mouth, but something. So anything's possible. All right. Great. Add to the list of things to look into.
Yep.
And I'm going to open the door to the coal chute and see what the hell's in there. What's left in there?
Smoldering remains and the smell of burnt flesh.
The neighbor's dog are at it again.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm pretty sure this doesn't violate any rules. Maybe?
Violate what?
Oh, we did just send someone to the final death. And I'm pretty sure neither you or I or a sheriff...
You weren't in that cellar with me. That thing was not a vampire.
Yeah, yes. But the camera are funny with their...
No, that wasn't a vampire. By all accounts, this was like some sort of Frankenstein monster.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, I did damage that would have sent a vampire to its final death with the first swipe.
That's fine. We'll just deal with it if anyone asks.
Also, this was good practice for tomorrow's bout.
Oh, that's very true.
2 days.
You do have your rematch coming up, don't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Sid, can you roll me Perception Occult?
Just one success.
You see as Alex has the door open to the coal chute, a small, just a hint of green coming off the remains, just fading slightly.
Of green?
Makes you think back to that green underlying in the flame at the accountant's office.
Yeah, we didn't check what the color of the flame was like, but there is some. Does it look like green embers or?
No, it's like that last moments of a flame before it gutters out. The flame itself looks green.
There's green fire again.
Well, whoever was behind the torture at the CPA's office is obviously behind what's going on here. And whatever the hell they did to the professor.
Which I'm betting it's our Tremir's cousins.
Wait. Tremir's.
No, it's our Tremere cousins. That was an apostrophe S, one too many.
I'd rather not reach out to the Tremere Primogen. At least not until I get some things back.
Do you want to know what this is?
Who's that?
You hear Herschel from the background.
Oh.
Yeah, would be nice.
It's a tracker and a data collection.
What the hell is it collecting?
Whatever it is, it knows it was here.
Yeah. But it's not off yet.
Oh, it's not.
Can you tell where it's sending this data?
It's not sending it anywhere. It's just
It records
Collecting.
everything locally.
yes.
So they were probably going to run experiments on it and then kill it and get the
The results
results back. Wait. Can you... Oh, I'm sorry. Can you... Can you look into it and see all the data that was in?
If I do that, I break it and it stops recording.
Well, that's fine. We don't have any use for the data. If anything, we can find out what's inside of it and where the hell whoever did this got it.
Yeah, because it would have recorded since the first time it was turned on.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was turned on before that person was sent into the cell,
Exactly.
we'd know where they originate from.
If there's any geolocation data on there, then sure.
It's going to take a while.
Do what you do best.
Mm-hmm. Can you go away now? You're distracting.
Fine. Clean up this mess.
It's your mess. You clean it up.
It's in your room. And I'll go upstairs.
You might want to burn all that, Herschel says, gesturing to the blood-soaked Sid.
Yeah.
I upgraded the furnace. It's industrial.
Cool.
And he turns and focuses back on attempting to retrieve the data that you have or can get from this thing. What are the two of you going to do at this moment?
Well, I'm gonna go take a shower. Like, that's the first thing that Sid's gonna do.
Burn your clothes.
Gonna have to. Again.
No one tells you to, start eviscerating everyone from the inside.
But it is effective when he does it.
This is true.
So you're going upstairs to your room to get changed and cleaned up. Alex, what are you doing?
Let's. I want to reach out to Larissa.
You're going to call the Tremere Primogen?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to reach out to Larissa Weissman and let her know. Let her know we retrieved something.
Do you call her or text?
I'll call her. This is
Formal.
yeah, it needs to be a little more formal.
The phone rings, a couple extra rings. You hear it click, and then you hear a second click. Yes.
Miss Weissman,
Yes.
I will presume this conversation is being recorded, so I will keep things brief. As you know, business does need to be maintained. There was an incident at a certain accounting firm. I won't go into details. I was only letting you know that a specific package was retrieved from the premises. And it would be beneficial for this to be returned to you.
A driver will be at your location in 15 minutes.
Thank you. And I'll end the call.
She's not a very personable individual in any of your experience. About 3 minutes after you hang up, you get a text from Jessica Pearson saying, "Explain, please?"
And I'll just reply back, call me.
Your phone rings immediately.
Good evening, Miss Pearson.
Why am I getting phone calls from the Tremere Primogen that you're threatening her with blackmail?
There was no threat of blackmail.
Okay, good. I was concerned that you were actually being not good and not yourself. So what did you do to piss off Larissa this time?
Nothing that I did to piss her off. It's the fact that the CPA firm that the Tremere are using, well, at least the Primogen's using to mask all of her personal finances, well, the two CPAs that were in charge of it are missing. And the firm was pretty much ransacked. There are a few boxes left that were not immediately damaged, one being Miss Weissman's tax information. Merely being the good Samaritan that I am, I thought that those should be returned to her.
How many copies did you make?
Enough.
Good. We'll deal with this in the future. Next time, warn me before I have to deal with Larissa. It always puts me off my feed.
I completely agree. I don't like dealing with the Tremere any more than you do.
I also... Apparently, you are on good terms with the Tribune?
I am. Even if the other kindred in this household seem to want to thwart that.
She speaks highly of you and your compatriots.
That's a blessing considering one of my compatriots is Herschel.
Eventually, he will learn. She, well, she's sending you a gift. You would do well to accept it.
As long as it's not the funeral wreath we received this evening, I'm more than okay with that.
I'm quite sure that it is not.
Then I will wait for her gift with anticipation.
Try to keep it mildly contained. And she hangs up on you.
Love those conversations. And then I'm assuming Elizabeth will be returning with those files so that I can return them to Miss Weissman eventually.
Yes, you will see that the files are actually at the right inside the door of your office.
Oh. The girl is impeccable. All right. And I'll take the box downstairs to the foyer.
Just about the time you get there, Sid's coming out of, getting cleaned up and making himself look more presentable. There's a knock at the door.
I'll go get it.
All right. If it's the courier from the Primogen, the box is in the foyer.
I'll open the door.
A very large, very Russian-looking man just stares at you.
What's up?
He is about almost 6 inches taller than you are.
What's up?
There is a box.
Oh, yeah, it's in the foyer. I'll go get it. You stay here.
Yes.
I'll go get the box.
He will take it from you, say nothing, walk down the steps very precisely, almost military in his precision. Gets to the car that's waiting in front of the brownstone. Suburban. All black. The door opens from the inside. He puts the box in the back seat, gets into the front passenger seat, and the car drives off.
Lovely fella.
Man, a few words.
Roll me perception alertness, Sid, if you're standing in the front door, because you closed it.
Perception alertness.
Mm-hmm.
3 successes.
Good.
To realize I gave the box to the wrong person.
No.
Okay.
To see out of the corner of your eye a red Mazda Miata down the street, about a block and a half.
I wave at it.
There's no response.
No, that's okay, but they probably know that I saw them.
Or they're not in the car.
They would live 3 houses down from us.
It is not a car you're used to seeing, so probably maybe not. Unless something changed in the real estate market in the last 3 nights.
That would be hilarious.
Also be within your domain. as you guys do kind of have a full city, 2 city blocks.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no response from the red Mazda Miata sitting a block and a half down the street. You do see another panel truck pull up in front of your house.
A panel truck?
Yeah, like a white delivery van.
Oh, yeah,
Sliding
okay.
door. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's okay.
A kidnapper special.
Yeah, okay. Because, we only have non-suspicious people stop at our place.
Yes, everyone stops by in nondescript vehicles.
Yep.
Minus the red Mazda Miata.
It's the only one that doesn't look out of place.
Well, a white panel van in New York doesn't look out of place.
No, that's true.
Somebody's got a delivery coming in, it's going out, it's useful. There's a reason there are so many of them. The door slides open and a figure comes out with a clipboard, walks up to you and says, Zimmerman or Erickson?
Zimmerman.
I need you to sign for it. Short Italian gentleman, very dark curly hair, very thick New York accent.
I sang it. Do I see on the sheet what the package is?
No, you just see, no, it's just a number.
Okay.
Alright! Hey, boys! Bring it up here! You
Wait,
got a
boys?
place you want for it?
Yeah, what is it?
It's a net. I don't know. It's like a crate. I don't check what's in the crate. If you're gonna open the crate, it's your crate. I ain't gonna open your crate, and I don't. It's not my job. Hey guys,
No.
come on. And like 3
How
other guys.
big is the crate?
It's probably about 5 by 8 feet.
Okay, so piano sized.
The hell did they send us?
A little bit bigger than that.
Put it in the front parlor.
You got shit all over this floor. Where you want it?
There, and I motion, like, I don't care if there's paper on the floor or whatever. Just fucking leave it there.
Alright. Hey. Y'all have a good night. Good
Yeah,
night.
you too.
Don't bother us. Hey. Bye. And
Yeah.
they just walk out and close the door. And the
Oh,
panel drives off.
well,
Did you order a piano?
no, this is a gift from the Tribune, apparently. We should probably open it.
Well, it's your gift. You open it.
I'm pretty sure it's ours, but fine.
Comes from your
I know.
Tribune. The day I get something from the Gangrel Tribune, I'll open it myself. Which it'll probably be a dead animal.
And I'll ignore the comment and just go and find some sort of pry bar or something to open the crate.
Rip it open with your bare fingers, I mean. Aren't you a strong vampire boy?
No, not exactly.
That's what makes your relationship work.
Right, you're the strong one.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm the dexterous one.
No, that's true. I don't think I don't know if Herschel's the strong one or not.
Technically, Herschel might have potence. So...
He doesn't.
He doesn't? Oh, great. None of us are strong.
Yeah.
Um,
So open the crate.
It's full of sawdust and packing material, and you see this large, ornate piece of furniture inside.
The fuck? is this?
Do I recognize the piece of furniture?
So you pull it out. Yes. And you look and you look around and you realize that there's a piece missing that should be attached to the outside of this piece of furniture. It's a Victrola, an antique, turn of the century. Where's the hand crank? Probably still in the pile of packing material on the inside.
I'll rummage through the.
Wait, it's a what?
It's a Victrola.
I need to... Oh, okay, thank you.
It's a It's a really old record player.
Yeah, okay. I'd never heard the name before.
Victor Victrola is the one that is the... You know the dog looking at the gramophone?
RCA logo, yeah.
That's a Victrola.
Yeah, I googled
Logo.
it.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
So you find a very large, ornate, engraved bronze hand crank.
This is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a record that comes with it?
Yes, is there anything packaged with it?
Opening the inside, there are 2 records stacked neatly in packaging.
Is there anything on the records?
Well, they're engraved, yeah. You'd have to play them to figure out what's on them.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if they're...
There's no sticker in the middle, like, that tells you, like, the musician or something. Okay.
Interestingly enough, Sid, roll me 3d10.
Ten, 1, and 9.
Reroll the 10.
2.
You notice that the record that's in Alexander's hand, it's not a 45. They're small. 35.
I was going to say
that's fine.
18.
18s, yeah. 17s. 17s. Huh. They're smaller. They look familiar. Extremely familiar.
I had those when I was a child.
No.
There's a Fisher Price
No.
record play. Oh, okay.
No, Sid. These look more like recordings that were the USO would arrange for troops to send recordings instead of letters home.
Hmm.
But the one in Alex's hand, there's something that there's a mark, an imperfection on the underside. That one in particular looks familiar.
Hey, you want to play the small one first?
And before he says that, Alexander is actually going to put that one on Victrola.
Your own voice, Sid, comes back to you.
Hey, I know that guy.
I would certainly hope so. Do you know what the hell this is about?
I don't know. I want to hear myself.
And I'll continue to turn it and let the record play.
LA is weird. Not seeing the daylight is weird. I didn't burst into flames walking by the synagogue. But there are men following me. I don't know why. They keep saying something in Latin. I can't understand them. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But I need the notes. So I'm going to keep this recording. What the hell are you? And then it cuts off.
That's from From when I vacationed in LA.
How
I
long
seem to
ago
be
was
pretty
this?
suspicious.
Wait,
Or
you don't
suspicious of people.
remember doing this?
At all. Yeah, I meant to tell you there's a, 20 years gap in my memory.
20 years.
Yeah, after I left New York. Like, it never bothered me. But now it's bothering me.
You know, I might be able to help you with that.
Are you, gonna make me lie down on a couch and, have me relate my, childhood?
No, smartass. I might be able to pick at whatever's blocking those memories.
Ventures have that power?
There's quite a bit about us that you may not know. But yes. Just as I can fuck around with other people's minds, I can poke around at things that have been fucked with in others.
It definitely changes the outlook I had on, Ventures. I'm gonna have to add to the 4 keywords I had for you.
4 keywords.
Yeah, pricks in fancy suits.
Well, you can just consider us pricks in fancy suits with Jedi mind tricks.
Cool, that's another 4 words.
And I want to play the other record. Just to see what's on that one.
It's Frank Sinatra.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
I'm assuming that everybody in this room knows who Frank Sinatra is.
Interestingly enough, they wanted to turn Frank.
Really?
Yeah, the Venture tried.
And he rejected the idea. But it's not a song that you've ever heard before, either of you. It's not a recording that's ever been played of Frank on the radio. It's not in English, it's in Italian. It's upbeat, but somehow sad.
What are the lyrics?
When the moon is full and red, death waltzes us all from behind the shadows. Our kin are watching.
I don't know, Frankie sang about us.
Apparently no one else did either.
It's pretty catchy.
I didn't know you spoke Italian.
I have absolutely no idea what just happened. I forgot. Because Deirdre said it in English, so it screwed me over.
I mean, I wasn't gonna.
I asked because I speak Italian.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I'm like,
But wait,
what is it saying?
what's moon in Italian? Luna?
Luna.
And,
So I'm sure you can probably
because
pick
I could have
bits and
picked
pieces
up,
out.
like, bits and pieces.
Red
yeah.
or...
Yeah, the Rosa de Luna and Notte de Familia. It's not 100% accurate. I'm doing it off the top of my head here, guys. I didn't prepare an Italian translation. I probably could. That'll be later. But yeah.
No. But then we'll just rewind a bit, and Sid will say, "Oh, hey, I've heard that song in English. It's when the moon's in the sky. It's like a big pizza pie. It's amore."
And I'm just gonna let him go with that. I'm just gonna let him run with that idea.
Sid, roll me 4d10.
7911. Reminds me of the time I hung out with Frank Sinatra.
Hey, Alex, are you going to catch Sid as he passes out on the floor?
Bye.
Certainly.
He seems to be very focused on the music that's playing, and all of a sudden his eyes just roll back into the back of his head, and he begins to collapse on the floor.
I'll grab him and set him into his desk chair.
It takes a couple minutes, but he starts to come around. Sid, roll me 3d10.
878.
You remember the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of conversation. You remember everything that's happened. But you also know that something triggered something in your mind.
And Alexander will stop the Victrola. Sleep that record back into whatever packaging it came in and set it aside. You're gonna have to tell me what the hell just happened there.
I fell unconscious.
Right. So you're telling me that you can't remember the last 20 years or 20 years of your lifetime.
Oh no, it's not the last 20 years that I don't remember. There's a gap
Sorry.
of 20 years.
Yes, the gap of 20 years. And then all of a sudden you black out while hearing Frank Sinatra. I mean, the man's good.
I
But I've
remember
never
the last
blacked.
5 minutes of conversation, so I remember hearing the music and everything and then falling. Okay. I don't know.
You remember everything that happened.
It's just weird.
That is the understatement of the evening. Okay. We're going to have to see if we can poke around in that head of yours.
You want to do that now?
Let's see what we can find out.
What are you going to use, Alexander?
I'm going to use the forgetful mind, but I'm going to attempt to restore removed memories in Sid's head.
Okay.
But that requires that my dominate be higher or equal to or higher than that of the vampire that did whatever to Sid.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a 3 right now. So I don't know if that's enough or not. But it says it's wits plus empathy.
Roll the wits empathy.
Okay. I gotta
Does
find
the
it.
fact that I have Iron Will blocks anything? Like, or do I have to consciously try to block him?
Your choice on this.
Oh, it's so the rolls against his because it says
No. It's against whoever. It's against
Yes.
whatever happened. You don't know what happened.
Okay.
Now, Sid,
Yep.
do you want to allow Alex to mess around with your head?
I promise I'm only looking. I'm not changing anything.
Sure.
Promise.
I mean, you trust each other. You're blood bonded.
Yeah.
It's true. Okay, so
So, Sid, do you want him to mess around in your head? Because it will affect the mechanics of what happens next.
he's thinking about this really hard.
Nah, sure, go ahead.
DC 7,
All right.
because he's choosing to allow you in.
I have 2 successes.
Good.
Can you see
Good.
all of my secret plans for the future?
No.
No, I'm merely going backwards into. So, what era of the 20 years don't you remember?
He doesn't remember 20-year period starting in 1955.
Yep.
Oh,
Up until the moment I came back for the Summer of Sam.
right.
77, 75, 77.
Okay.
Yeah, like there was 2 years that I was in New York, that I established myself in New York, and then there was the Summer of Sam where we met.
You see this. You see this block. You see where it is. And you realize that it's not Dominate that did it.
It's not Dominate that did it.
Mm-mm. And you see where someone has tried to repair pieces of it so far and done a pretty good job. Or at least keeping the mess at bay. And you see this memory of, well, a room, industrial, 3 figures tied to beds, 1 going up in flames, 1 beginning to decay like mortals, and a 3rd going on a rampage. And then I need you to roll me a empathy. What is it? Empathy occult? No, it's manipulation occult.
Manipulation occult.
Him or me? Him?
Him.
Okay.
Alexander needs to roll this for me.
2 successes, 1's a 10.
Reroll.
2 successes.
You feel as you're starting to be forced out of the memory, and you catch a glimpse of figures. Excuse me. Breaking in to an office in a town. Looks like Sid's kind of office. He's wearing a much more period appropriate suit. You see a recording of a record player recording, and you see 3 figures burst into the room. And you see one of them shoot Sid. And then you're forced out of the memory.
Well,
So, have I been a bad vampire?
no. But I'm pretty sure I saw the evening you recorded that first record.
Oh, cool. Where was I?
Not certain of details where you were. Do you remember any other offices you were in? I'm assuming somewhere in LA.
Nope. But I figure I had an office in LA. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Right as the record ended, there were a couple of people that broke in and shot you.
That's kind of less cool.
Yeah. The question kind of becomes who?
Oh, yeah, 3 people kept speaking Latin or something, following me around. Could have been the Inquisition, but hey, I'm still alive. Maybe I fucked them up.
What? Do you know what they were saying?
Sounded
Roll me
like
4d10.
nothing.
No,
1, 5, 2, and 4. Sounded like
Sounded
EA.
like something. Sounded like that phrase that you had written out. That social media phrase. That crappy phrase that Alex kept complaining about how bad the grammar was
Oh,
for the dogs of the search.
Dogs of the Search.
yeah, sounded like that shit.
Great.
We kept muttering it over and over.
Have you seen anyone else about this gap?
So, give me 2 seconds. Mimi, shut up. I don't recall seeing anyone. I'm not the shrink type of person.
Well, this isn't the shrink type of work.
No, you do recall someone in particular messing with your head or fixing your head.
Really?
Yeah. You do.
Who? Because I don't have it in my notes.
Really? Because she spent a lot of time fixing your head.
Rebecca?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
No,
Yeah,
I only wrote that I knew her from returning to New York in '75, but I didn't know
Oh,
that she.
okay. We talked about it. We didn't write it down.
Okay.
No. She brought you relatively back to sanity.
Okay. Yep. Just added that to the note. Yeah, Becky.
And I'm going to text Rebecca. How bad do you want another favor from me?
From what I remember, the favor is going to be my problem again.
I can always, up dinner to Le Cirque to, a full night on Little Italy by myself.
Like all of Little Italy? I'll text back.
Dinner and Ferraras, and then there's the bar down the street. I've got plans, dear.
Cool. Tell her we can use my credit card. There's about $30 left on it.
And I'll text back. It'll be done.
See you tomorrow night.
Always.
And on that, I think we're going to end it for today.
All right. Oh. Well, thank you to everyone that came. Thank you to people that hung out in chat. Thank you to you guys watching over on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans of the show. And remember, this stream, before we go and do the outros, like all of our streams here, is sponsored by Magen Press. And if you are interested into looking at their products, such as Dark Matter, the campaign setting, the D&D in Space campaign setting that we play here on Tuesday nights, you can check it out at store.magenpress.com and use code WanderingDM for 15% off. I am Simon at WanderingDM. Hi, welcome to the channel. We stream here on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Dark Matter D&D in Space. On alternating Fridays, so this coming Friday, we play Castle Falkenstein, which is our roleplay heavy steampunk game in the world of Castle Falkenstein, where we end up just drinking ourselves into a stupor. And on Saturdays, we have the Vam family with the Vam dads and the children who are going to be back in next week. Our crazy adventures in New York City. And you can also find me on Mondays over at Role Players, where I DM Age of Arcana, my own campaign setting. It's a D&D 5e game. And the flirty repartee for Castle Falkenstein. Never forget that. So yeah, that was me. Let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, what you have going on in your lives. I'll begin with the other half of the Vam Dads, Mr. I Play With People's Minds, Scott.
You got to do what adventurers got to do. I'm Scott at Berserker_Rage on Twitter and Twitch. You can find me here on Saturdays with these lovely people. As always, a great time. Thank you all for what we do. So, definitely stop by, check us out. And this channel is fantastic. So hit up the other nights as well.
Definitely. Deirdre, thank you so much for storytelling today.
Well, thanks all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Dunlin on Twitter, or Praxagorth Esmiophoria, as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. I love Saturdays, where I get to mess with everybody's mind in multiple ways. Even if it's not Cthulhu, I can still mess with your minds. Pretty much. But as for me, you will find me Monday over on Role Players for some Age of Arcana, where Simon messes with our minds and our wonderfulness. And then I'll be back here on Tuesday for the Dark Matter fun times as we deal with brains in jars. Self-replicating brains in jars. There are 8 of them currently. It's a thing.
It's awesome. And don't forget this Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. And Wednesday, I'm over on Tales from the Grim for some May Black Roses Bloom as Visaria tries to prevent everyone from breaking her Vardo and not dying to time wraiths. 2 things. She's got it. It's fine.
Yep. So, on that note, before we leave, let's just go and check out who can we raid this afternoon. Who's up? I know a lot of our friends are at TwitchCon, but we have Unmade Gaming, who's having his monthly charity stream. So let's just go and have fun with Mike over there as he plays games all day, I think.
12 hours.
12 hours of streaming. Whoa, 2 seconds. I can't do both typing and talking. 12 hours stream for, I think it's Extra Life?
Mm-hmm. Extra Life for Kids.
So, Extra Life for Kids. So let's just go and raid them, and we will see you next week. I can't raid Unmade Gaming.
Why can you not raid them?
I got a message from Twitch. You cannot raid this channel.
Amateurs.
Let me try again. Unmade Gaming. Nope. So, well, head over to Unmade Gaming if you want to. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, ciao everyone. See you next week.